Hello, and welcome back to the next episode of the Four Horsemen. My name is Paul, representing Diecast Graveyard. Today, along with my fellow Four Horsemen, Keith from Outlaw Speed Shop, Xavier from Diecast Show Customs, and Jeff from 164 Revival, we make up the Four Horsemen. Now, this month's theme is a 32 Ford T-Bucket, and the theme is the Munsters. This is going to be a pretty wild build, so I just smell fantasy on the horizon here. So grab yourself your favorite adult beverage. Let's get this car apart and see what we can do with it. Let's go ahead and get started. I've already drilled the car apart. Let's go ahead and take it apart and see what we got here. Now, the engine comes out fairly easy, but I tell you, that darn interior really stumped my mind. It took me a while to get it out. This is going to be a pretty simple build. Just a little bit of extra stuff on here. We got the engine apart, like I said, but that interior was really stubborn. It took me a little bit of time to get it taken care of. Sometimes it just doesn't come out the way you want it to, for sure. I pried on it and messed around with it, and I finally did get it out. And I've taken these out before, which really stumped my mind. You just want to make sure that you don't ruin it. Man, what a stubborn cuss that was. I did get it out, though, but man, I'll tell you, I was saying some curse words. All right, let's go ahead and move on. There, see, I finally did get it out. Now, I started messing around with some plastic, and here I made this bat's wing fin for the back, since, kind of going with a vampire bat type theme. And I made these wheel covers also to look like bat wings. I wound up going back in later on and making a little bit larger ones, but here we got ones, and these are going to cover the wheels on the car, and I think it's going to look pretty cool. There we go. I'm liking where this is going so far. Let's move on. Here I've got the engine. Now, I cut off the blower on the top, and I got this muscle car, and something just said to take this big blower and put it on top. And that's what I'm going to do. Like I said, we're going to do a fantasy type car here. And I'm thinking of painting the car black, but giving it a little special effect. But I like that big blower on top there. Now, I'm not a fan of the disproportioned engines and stuff like this. But again, this is a fantasy car. It's the Munsters. So it's big, it's obnoxious, and that's what I'm seeing in my mind. So that's looking pretty good, and it fits extremely well. Put those fins in the back there. That'll be cool. There we go. We got the fender well. The fenders, that's looking good. All right. Like I said, I took some pieces of this car. Now I'm going to take the wheels. Now the wheels are white. And I usually don't use the white wheels unless it's a holiday like Christmas or something like that, or a special occasion like a chase car. But something just said use these wheels because the interior is white. So this is going to fit okay. I really think that this is going to be cool. We'll get those wheels glued on. Let's move on. Here we've got the body. Now I've taken a little bit of sandpaper and I roughed up the sides of the body and the top of the trunk in the back. And I went ahead and I glued the bat wings onto the sides and then the other wing on the top. So that's going to be neat. Now we're going to take this Tester's base coat, this gloss black, and we're going to go ahead and paint that body and see how it turns out. All right, It looks pretty darn good. I like where this is going so far. That's pretty neat. Now let's let this dry for a bit, and then we're going to come back in with some iridescent paint. We'll put the gloss black down first, and then we use this Tester's iridescent shimmer on top of it. And that's how it looks. That's pretty nice. I like that. Let's go ahead and put this down and let it dry, and then we'll work on it a little bit later.
Meanwhile, back in the graveyard.
Okay, we got all the pieces. We've got the body with that iridescent paint over the black background. We've got the wings that we put on there. Here's the base with those big old tires, those white tires off that muscle machine. They fit on really well. Here's the engine. We cut off the top blower and we put the one from the muscle machine on there. And here's your windshield and your interior. Let's go ahead and put everything together, and let's go ahead and do our reveal. And here's what we started with. A 32 Ford T-Bucket. Now this in its own right is a really nice car. I'm not crazy about the wheels, but we're going to go ahead. We took it apart. We modified the engine, we painted it up, we put on some extra pieces, and we put on some really cool tires. And this is what we came up with. What a pretty cool car. Like I said, I'm not a big fantasy type person when it comes to doing stuff like this, but you know what? I think this looks pretty good for what it. Got that really huge, incredible blower on top of the engine. We got the big tires there, the white that matches the interior of the car. We got the fender covers that look like bat wings, and we got that big fin out the back. I think this is pretty cool, and talking about a fantasy car for a monster-based television show, I think this would be really, really cool. Now again, I'm looking forward to seeing some of the builds you guys come up with, since now you can participate in the Four Horsemen builds also. This has been a lot of fun, and make sure you go to the comments section and check out the links to the other Four Horsemen so you can see their builds. Now I'd like to introduce you to my Patreon team, the folks that support me every month. Join the team. You'll be helping the channel by helping with supplies. What you receive in return, you'll see videos at least a day or more in advance. You'll get personal advice for your own diecast hobby. I'll be available for video one-on-one help. We'll do prize drawings once a month or as time permits. Exclusive customs offers only available to members, and many, many more offers. I'd like to take this time to thank my current Patreons, Grim Reaper level, William K7 Robinson, Dale Johnson, and Matt Miller. Thank you, gentlemen, so much. Mortician level, Jake Rademacher, Ray Berger, Air Warrior Coffee Company, Ricky Montalvo, Jason Warren, and Sam Pascal. Funeral Director, Double B's Customs, check out his YouTube page. Diecast Sheriff, check out his YouTube page, a great builder. Todd Binney, Dave Christensen, and Ryan Goldstein. Gravedigger level, Aaron Murphy, Leroy, Andrew Hitchens, John Sellers, check out his YouTube page. Bob DeNice, Les Jenkins, Trevor DeViz, Grizz Flowers, check out Bearcat 3D Designs, does some great 3D printing. Chris Decker, Keith Kripe, Johnny Hicks, and my buddy William. Stacy Wright, Richie Ramos, Michael Oxley, and John Holman. Thank you guys so much for everything you do for me every single month. Paul Bearer level, Gary Tasker, Daryl Begtel, and Milesium 487. Thank you guys so much. Hearst Driver level, Jim Silva, check out his YouTube page. Richard at Michio Woods Garage sells a lot of Hot Wheels on Facebook. Check out his page. Somo Diecast, Ron Raby there, doing some great builds. Tony Hughes, Wade Hendricks, Stephen Terrence, Diecast Pirate, Pin Tony, Scott Turner, Pete Langford, Joe Pierce, Adam Bowen, Richard Reese, and new member Jason Saylor. Thank you guys so much for everything you do for this page. Please check out in the comments section on how to become a member of the Patreon team for Diecast Graveyard. Thank you so much. Again, join the team today. The link is in the comments. Speaking of Four Horsemen build, the build for next month is going to be a 47 Chevy. And the theme is Mad Max Apocalyptic. So go ahead and get your builds all together and get them ready for the end of November. Now all the builds are due the last day of the month. So this will be due November 30th. I want to say thank you for joining me today on the Four Horsemen build. Please make sure, like I said, to go in the comments section, and there'll be links there for the other Four Horsemen. And please visit all the other folks that are participating in the builds. My name is Paul, representing Diecast Graveyard. Cheers.